Hi, this is Jason Fielder with the Daily Forex Report for April 20th. We are looking at the US-Japanese yen pair. We're expecting this pair to move potentially as high as 115 and possibly as low as 96.84. Look for some resistance to kick in around 98.49. Look for some support around 97.23 in this pair. This pair closed below previous support, so we could definitely see this pair move lower to the downside over the next session or two. Now, the US-Japanese yen pair, the Euro-USD pair moved lower after gapping up on Sunday afternoon. We are expecting this pair to move potentially as high as 131.79, possibly as low as 127.74. Look for some resistance around 130.16 and look for some support around 128.50 in this particular pair. Looking at the pound US dollar pair, this pair we're expecting to move potentially as high as 149.49 and possibly as low as 143.40. Look for some resistance around 145.81 and look for some support around 143.40 in this particular pair. This pair did move lower. It did cross and close below some previous support. We could definitely see this pair moving lower over the next session or two. Now the US Swiss, this pair got down on the open, did close higher, pulled back a significant amount prior to closing higher. We are expecting this pair to potentially go as high as 118.36 and looking on the downside to around 115.53. Look for some resistance around 117.42 and look for some support around 116.22. Now, what am I looking for during this next session? There's a lot of overextended bars, as you can see, as we've gone through just the four majors. But what I'm looking for is in the pound Swiss. This particular pair formed a swing trade setup during the last session, or at the close of the session. We have an overextended bar indicated by this blue dot as well. So that ups our odds of this next session going down. So we're basically looking for a short on the break of this trend line at 169.29, looking to exit this particular trade around 168.25. That would be a potential profit of around 104 pips. Use a stop loss of 100 pips for this trade. So we could also see this breaking if we get a break to the downside, breaking a long-term trend line. So all in all, we could get a move to the downside that could be very strong if it does indeed break to the downside. Well, as far as news announcements goes, we do have a few going on tomorrow. We have the pound releasing their CPI for March at 4 a.m. Eastern Time. Consensus is that it has dropped from 3.2% down to 2.9%, which would be good news for the pound. The euro has their Eurozone ZEW survey at 5 a.m. Eastern Time. Consensus is that it has improved from -6.5 to 0.0. The Bank of Canada is releasing their rate decision at 9 a.m. Consensus is they're going to hold at 0.50%. If the move is beyond that to the downside, we could definitely see it affect the US-Canadian dollar pair. Now, we do have the US releasing their ABC Consumer Confidence Report for April at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. There's no consensus at this time. The previous was -55. Well, that about does it for today. Until next time, this is Jason Fielder. Good trading.